Hey guys, this is a football Chapp reaction to Ange Postecoglou getting sacked by Tottenham yesterday. Wasn't really a surprise really for me. I think for a lot of people really. Towards the end of last season, you kind of thought it was coming. I think it's the relationship with the fans. Once I started seeing him having a bit of aggro and a bit of to and fro with the fans in the ground, shouting at them, and then the fans turning on him and him kind of turning on the fans too. It was the beginning of the end really. I think the only surprise really is, it took this long. I know everyone was expecting it. People were talking about, do they keep him, but maybe falling into the mistake Manchester United did with Ten Hag by keeping a manager they didn't really want and carrying on to inevitably sack him after a few months next season. But yeah, I'm sure Postecoglou will feel it's harsh. He's probably been told at the beginning of last season, our goal, Tottenham's goal, is to get into the Champions League. So this season, get us in the Champions League. He'll turn around and say, listen, I've got you in the Champions League. Okay, the Premier League form was awful and we fell off a cliff. But he might say that's because we were concentrating on the Europa League and the injuries weren't great. The squad was depleted for large parts of that season. But, I think his stock is still quite high. He did win something. How many managers for Tottenham could say that? So, I'm sure he'll be back in the Premier League, no problem. But, who will go to Tottenham now? If I was Levy, I'd be going for Thomas Frank. He's absolutely quality, isn't he? Seems a nice guy too, really nice guy. Then you've got to kind of fear the worst for Brentford if he goes and Umbremo goes. It's kind of, where do they go? Do they get Postecoglou in? But I thought, towards the end of last season when Postecoglou was falling out with the fans, I thought, okay, this is the beginning of the end. Maybe if he had the fans' support and the fans really wanted him and really great about winning the Europa League, then maybe that might have played a part in Levy's decision. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be back soon. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd give my take. Hope you all having a great weekend, and I'll hopefully speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.